I have over an 800 credit score. I have just under $100,000 of total credit limit. And I don't even know how many credit cards I have. I have like 15. I don't even know. But I'm going to tell you a very simple credit synopsis. It's very simple. And I even made video on a different YouTube channel regarding this, and I like edited it so well, and I provided a lot of value. But you don't even need to go that hard, and I'm not going to go that hard. I'm just going to share exactly my take on it and how you can get this level of credit. And not that this is even special, but if you want to buy real estate, it does assist. And you creating this and building this is just another notch on your credibility belt and your confidence belt. And it does teach you how to be financially savvy. It is something that shows, well, are you trustworthy or not? So when I was 18 or no, maybe 20 or something, so not even that long ago, I think I got my first credit card. It was for $300 credit limit. It was the Capital One Journey student card. And few things about credit. The only thing you need to worry about is how you can get to raise your credit is paying off every time as soon as possible, never spending money you don't have, and building the highest total credit limit you have. So how do you do that? You ask for credit limit raises, or you get other credit cards. Yeah, there's small things like, oh, if you did a bunch of credit cards at once, those hard inquiries, but those aren't that big. If you pay off all the time and you just focus on building a total credit limit, not to even spend and have that much money and use that much, but just so when you are spending a few thousand every month, this and that, that's such an indiscretionary level of your total credit limit that it doesn't even affect you. But it's simple. Get your first credit card. If you do not believe that you can pay it off in full every time, and you don't spend money that you do not have, if you can't follow those two rules, then there's no hope for you building credit. But if you have the mindset that you're doing this to buy real estate, to get a good credit score, to build your total credit limit, if those are your goals, then you'll be laser focused on that. So for me, Capital One Journey student, and then for $300, and I think a few months later it went to $500 after paying it off and showing whatever. And then I got the Chase Unlimited Freedom. I think that was for like $1,500 credit limit. And then every few months I'm like requesting credit limit increases for these things regardless. But the next one after that, I believe, was the Amex Everyday. These are all 0 annual fee cards. You don't need to worry about any of that. Amex Everyday, I believe. And then I have Amex Cash, something like that. I don't even know what it's called. But get those few base cards, 0 annual fee, and pay them off and get good. And then you'll build your credit. You'll start seeing your credit go up. And then after a few months, you can request an increase on the Chase. I have just under $100,000 of credit limit. So I have like a Amex that has like over 20 grand credit limit. I have a Chase that has over 20 grand. I have Amex Gold. I have that doesn't even have a limit. I have Sapphire Preferred, that's something like 15,000 or something. But you don't get those unless you can prove your worthiness in the beginning, and that literally just starts with small indiscretionary things. Like right now, like you doing that and starting is what's going to change your life, and you're not even going to know, and you can't even see it right now, but you'll see it unfold. I still have a $500 limit on the Chase, or the Capital One turned into the Platinum Capital One, but it's still a $500 limit, which is funny to me because I still have that one. It's like my badge of honor. And those are the only things you need to worry about, is get a student credit card or get a regular one. If you cannot pay it off, or you can, and I don't even want to go in detail. I could share and figure out every credit card I have and how I requested and when I requested and how much I got for it, but none of that even fucking matters. Like, get a credit card. If you cannot pay it off and you cannot abide by the rule, do not spend money you do not have, do not get it. But if you know you're doing it for real estate to build a total credit limit, then you'll be in the right spot. So getting that, and then a few months later, going to the Chase after the Capital One, and then doing an Amex. Those are the three base ones. You'll change your life if you can do those three, stagger it a few months each time, and you'll see Amex maybe usually gives you a little more. And then after that, building and then maybe requesting, and then you've built maybe a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 credit limit between these three cards, maybe a little less. And then after that, maybe you can go to annual fee card, or I couldn't even tell you the cards that I have. I think I only have like 3 that are annual fee. But just very basic credit is what I just said. And regardless of that, and then what happens is you'll start to learn. You'll learn the credits. You don't need to be so overly analytical about like how to do it and what month to do the next card. It's like, in the grand scheme of things, if you're a good credit borrower, it will work out in your favor. You might get like deduct a few points here and there, but like none of that even matters. Now I'm sitting here, I could really care less about credit in a credit score, because like I have an 800 credit score. I have a bunch of credit limit. Like I don't need to prove myself anymore regarding credit. And like surely I want to keep it in good standing for like the next time I buy another property. But even so, like my property paying for itself, like never missing a profit, like even that just shows credibility anyways. But it doesn't matter about how many credit cards you have. It doesn't matter about the limits on them. But starting with 0 annual fee, starting with a Capital One, going to a Chase, going to an Amex, the trifecta, and just asking for increases and being a good borrower, you'll be in a great position. And surely there's other videos going in depth about the next steps and annual fee cards. I mean, I used to be a credit nerd, but I don't know. I don't really even want to like go too deep into it. But regardless, the reason I'm saying this is not to brag. I don't even really think it's that cool of a badge of honor. But what I will say is it's beneficial. And if you have the mindset in the beginning, I'm doing it for this, then you're not going to fail anyways. And it really doesn't matter. And you just take the actions that are right for you and you learn. And I've gotten, the first time I applied for the Chase Sapphire Preferred, I got denied. And, I've got denied a bunch of times for credit limit increases, but it didn't really hinder me that much. So you just go and you take the actions that you think are right in the moment. Very simple. Yeah, I don't know. Should I even filmed this video? It wasn't really in depth. The other one I did was crazy in depth, and it's just like I don't even really remember the exact cards and like the way that it happened and the exact limits. But just those simple, if you can just use that in finance, in real estate, in building a business, having those guiding principle value systems, like I'm doing this to buy real estate in the future. I'm doing this to build good credit. Like if you have that value system, it doesn't matter. All the nitty gritty doesn't matter. Like take the risk but come and move forward, like knowing and doing things in good standings, like all the nitty gritty, like what month to apply for the next card and what card should I get next and how much limit am I going to have and what exact limit is going to build my credit. Like none of that really fucking matters, as long as you have the value systems in place. And that's really what I'm trying to get at, is even in finance, like personal finance, building your first $100,000 net worth. Like, oh, well, how can I save an extra this month and blah, 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 and make it extra? It's like, if your goal is to make have $100,000 net worth in cash with no debt, well, start chipping away, getting rid of debt. Start making more money. Start saving as much as you can. And if your goal is dead set, like don't worry about the budgeting the food and emergency fund and saving and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no. Be smart and save as much as you can. But also like figure out your values. If you value good food and you don't want to give up healthy food dynamic, like that's understandable. And that's something that you want to uphold. But if you're in a position where you don't really care about that, and that's fine, like that's okay too. But if you have your value systems in place, your guiding principles, everything else will come and align as it's supposed to. That's all I'm trying to say. You guys literally can do anything you put your mind to. And that's the whole point of what I'm talking about and why I'm sharing these things, because I'm still on a journey to create abundance in my life. I'm still on a journey to create more freedom in my life. But I recognize when fear is controlling me. I recognize the false patterns that I live by sometimes. And it's about unsuppressing those. It's about unsuppressing the chains and living by a certain set of guiding value systems that move you through life, that align you with the right people, that build your financial wealth, that help you achieve goals, all by knowing and being in the present moment. Because if you're overthinking, overanalyzing, fear-based, then you're going to self-sabotage. I hope that helped, guys. Much love, and let's get this money. Peace.